You've heard the motion.
Mayor, do we still have 7 feet after the report?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Do you want to come down?
Not the building is here.
No, not until we hear.
Thank you. Just again, there was reference that visitations could be denied or corporate security required to attend where staff believe a confrontation is possible or a visitor is known to police. And my question before the lunch break was, how is it going to be determined whether a visitor is known to police?
On certain occasions when we come into possession of a dog, it may be through a police request for our officers to attend and remove an animal from a residence or a premise. And at that time, the police may provide us with information regarding the owner of the dog.
Thank you. For you, Madam Mayor, it would be, you already know about it. It's not that anybody who would sign up to be visiting would go through a police check, correct?
Absolutely. We would know in advance. We would not be requiring a police check.
Thank you very much. Through you, Madam Mayor, the next thing is where the comment where staff believe a confrontation is possible. The document talks about how emotional it is for a dog owner, and would a person know in advance that he or she has been tagged as a possible high-maintenance visitor?
We certainly want to make the visitation experience positive for everybody, but we also have to ensure the safety of our staff. Unfortunately, some owners of certain animals are more difficult than others. It's a difficult situation. If the management or supervisory staff believes there is a risk to staff, then it's appropriate for us to involve corporate security to ensure everyone's safety.
For you, Madam Mayor, I agree completely. That's good. Will the visitor know in advance that corporate security may be called? That is, that the visitor just does show up and there's a uniform there.
The visitors are all required to read the terms and conditions of the visitation, and in the terms and conditions it does state that city staff, and it's not specific that it will only be animal services staff, but that city staff will supervise the visit. That would include corporate security if required.
Through you again, Madam Mayor, yes, it does. There's a visitation that says the owner would waive all conditions, and it's a long thing that includes also loss or damage to my person, which I suppose could be banning or arrest. And it's waived off even by negligence on the part of the corporation. But one would think that in the interest of fairness, cooperation, and above all transparency, I know if I was a dog owner, I'd like to know that my possible visit could lead to a ban or worse, an arrest. And I'm just wondering if that, for example, that there's the violence, vandalism, and bullying policy, and also your respectful workplace policy. Those policies would kick in should a visit turn sour, correct? Do you remember that?
The respectful workplace policy pertains to city staff and mayor and council. It doesn't really extend to the general public. However, if we had encountered a situation where someone had demonstrated inappropriate behavior in a past visit, we would certainly make them aware of the fact that on future visits we would be requiring corporate security to be in attendance. If it was something that blew up at the moment where we hadn't anticipated it, they may not have prior warning, but certainly if we had that prior situation, they would know in advance.
Thank you. And through you again, Madam Mayor, if the staff believe that there is a potential for confrontation, could there be a provision in the procedures so that perhaps the ward councillor is at least advised of it and could act as that person's advocate? I'm thinking specifically the Accessibility Act 2005, disability isn't just physical, it's also emotional as well, and it talks about the definition of disability and also what constitutes a barrier. So I'm just wondering whether the ward councillor could at least be involved in something like that.
Well, they're experts, so. Well, then, look at Councillor Parish.
Through you, Madam Mayor, if that could be a commitment that let's call these people high maintenance potential visitors. If they have access to the advocacy of Councillor Parish, I'm sure that would. Okay,
we were joking.
Oh, you just joking? Okay. One other thing. Again through you, Madam Mayor, and this deals with days. I'm sorry?
No, just marking our days. It's exciting.
Just one other thing. Is it possible, again, in the interest of fairness and transparency, that Appendix 4, and I wasn't sure, Appendix 4-1 isn't available to the dog owner, correct? It won't be handed to them? I'm sorry.
Martin, answer all the questions.
I'm sorry. 4-1 is the internal standard operating procedure. If you also have there the terms and conditions that the visiting owner will read and acknowledge with their signature. So it's virtually the same information, just in a format for the owner to read and sign.
Through you, Madam Mayor, just one last point. If I was a dog owner, there's 2 items at the bottom that I would certainly want to know about. Number 1, the officer is to be made aware of the visit at all times, and this part must complete notes on their observations following the visitation. And also that staff must refrain from personal comments, as these cases are before the court, and anything you say may jeopardize the existing case or result in you being subpoenaed to testify. If I was a dog owner and I knew that, I was in a legal situation, I certainly would like to know that perhaps anything that I said might go into some kind of a file. And I do know that this, the notes and the observations would likely be part of the dog owner's personal records. Is that correct?
There is no, if your concern is whether this standard operating procedure could be made available to the visitor, absolutely. It's a public document. It can be made available at their request. These owners are aware that the matter is before the court. It's not something they're unaware of. This is just direction to staff that they not jeopardize the case for the city or for the dog owner by entering into personal comment.
Okay, thank you. You've been really patient. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Please bring forward your record. Oh, this is it. I read it. Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. All in favor receipt of the reports, one as amended? Carried.